One of the biggest fears recreational players face when playing matches is to feed lobs during the warm-up. And they often revert to stopping every single overhead and then feeding the lob out of the hand. So in today's video, I'm going to teach you how to feed a lob off the overhead, what you see from high-level players. In other words, one person is going to be hitting overheads and you're going to keep the ball in play by feeding lobs. And here's what you have to do. First of all, you need a continental grip. You need to realize that you need an open racket face, regardless whether you're feeding the lob out of the hand or it's a live ball situation. Now the technique is going to be different when we feed the ball out of the hand. We are going to have to go up with the racket to make it go up. If I just tap the ball, it's not going to get any power or any height. So I need to go straight up on this ball to turn it into a lob. Now in a live ball situation, this is not the case because we're going to get a tremendous amount of power coming from the overhead. And all we need to do is just in a continental grip with the wrist in an L shape, bent backwards with a contact made out in front with the elbow clearing the torso, you simply are going to block the ball back. And the reason why feeding live ball lobs is such a difficult thing at the recreational level is because it requires very still hands. So recreational players will often get jerky with the contact. They will snap the wrist or they will do too much movement with the racket, and then combine that with the power from the incoming overhead, it will result in a lob that's going to spray all over the place. And the only way to recreate this particular shot is to hit this ball from an overhead. So you're going to have to practice with a partner. See, basically I'm just going to block that ball back and look, it turns into a lob. But I got to make sure I don't do any jerky movements or the ball is going to start to spray. See right there, just block it back and it turns into a lob. So in some of these overheads, they're going to go above your head. In that case, you won't be able to get this angle of the racket face. You'll have to raise the racket up, having the tip of the racket pointing straight up, and then simply put the racket backwards like this, creating this angle so it turns into a lob. And guys, if the overhead is very soft, you will have to push up on the ball a little bit. So how much you have to do with the racket completely depends on the pace of the overhead. On an extremely hard overhead, you literally have to do nothing. Just hold the racket here with a stable position and with an open racket face, and the ball will turn into a lob. Another thing you can do to make this easier is go further back. See, the closer you are to the baseline, the faster you have to react to the overhead. So by going back a little bit, it gives you more time, and it's a good way to practice this particular shot. And guys, you have to be patient when it comes to this type of shot. It is one of the most difficult shots in tennis, and therefore it's going to take a lot of repetition. But most importantly, you have to stop feeding lobs out of your hand and have the courage to actually do a live ball type of lob. And it's going to be ugly in the beginning. You're going to be spraying the ball all over the place, but eventually your hand is going to get more stable, you're going to get more confidence, and you will learn how to feed live ball lobs.